Hey, Mike, I think I told you I was pretty bummed when we left the American Century Championship in Tahoe that we didn't get to kick it with the Currys. And you see Stephen and Seth having a ball. Here's Stephen messing around. I mean, it's just, they had such a good time and we had to leave, you know? But all in due time. Because, Michael, I'm going to tell my kids that I was teammates with Stephen Curry. I'm going to tell my kids that I played on the same squad with Stephen Curry because it's true. Stephen Curry is right now at Whistling Straits covering the Ryder Cup for the Golf Channel as part of a global talent partnership between NBC Universal and Curry's company, Unanimous Media. It's a wide-ranging deal with NBC Universal that will see Stephen work on scripted and unscripted TV projects, NBC and CNBC, DreamWorks Animation, and he's going to reboot, might be my favorite part, The More You Know, which we all grew up on. And Stephen Curry, kind enough to join us from Whistling Straits right now. Listen, Stephen, good to see you, brother. You have a lot of options. You got a lot of things you could do with your time. You have a lot of places you could take your talents. Why was the relationship and the partnership with NBC Universal right for you and Unanimous Media?
It's an opportunity to continue the work that we started in terms of storytelling and reaching people of all walks of life to continue to uplift and inspire and motivate through the themes that are important to me and to our company. And so you look at faith, family, and sports and how that kind of permeates everything that I do. Partnering with NBC Universal and Comcast family, there are so many ways to connect and to grow that effort. I know there's a lot of people doing this a lot of different ways, like you said, and we're talking with the entire NBC family. There's just a lot of similarities, a lot of ways that we can collaborate to a whole other level. And this is something that hopefully will last long beyond my playing days as we continue to, while I'm here at the Ryder Cup, continue to grow the game of golf and build representation in the game. That's something that's near and dear to my heart. And, being able to celebrate what this game has meant to me is how we're starting. The More You Know, you said was an awesome opportunity as well to talk about amazing impactful organizations and programs that are helping the community, things that are near and dear to my heart with our foundation. So there's a lot of excitement, and it's going to blossom into something really, really, really meaningful in the future.
Well, listen, man, it's all love. We go back. You're great at basketball, obviously. You're nice with the sticks. But I got to tell you, I'm hating you. I'm hating right now because now you're trying to take our job. Now you're an analyst, too. So I got to know what kind of analyst skills.
I'm a team player.
What kind of analyst skills you bring into the Ryder Cup? What you bring into the Ryder Cup as an analyst?
That's a fun part about it because, there are experts who are golf historians. There are ex-pros that have been in between the ropes and have played this game at a very high level. And then there's the amateurs that think we can do it at that level. And so I'm trying to bring that angle. My dream is to hopefully bring a different voice to the game. Again, great representation and opportunity within the game so we get more minorities out here on a professional level. But also you can all kind of just be the voice of that amateur golfer that thinks that we can be out here doing what they do for a living and give our perspective. So having been out here, watch these guys at the Ryder Cup so far today, we're a long way away from that. So just got to keep moving.
I'm sure you'll have no trouble taking to our side, and you'll be a master analyst in no time, I'm sure.
Hope so.
Hey, Stephen, Mike said, you told Mike that you're focused on faith, family, and sports. Really, that's our show in a nutshell. But we talk about these things every day. And I'm just wondering, we're both, Mike and I, both dads. You're a dad. I'm wondering what it's been like for you, father of three. What kind of storytelling has happened with you recently? You say, wait a minute, this is interesting. This might be a show or a documentary. I can't believe that just happened to me.
Well, I know we all have like you said, we all have our stories as dads. Where we're in charge of taking care of the kids, and the wildest stuff seems to happen on our watch, as opposed to the moms out there. But I feel like there's ways that we learn from our kids and what they're interested in, what they're curious about, how they see the world, and our responsibility as parents and how we shape that. That can spark some amazing creativity in that respect. For me, it's been awesome just to see how inquisitive my 9-year-old and my 6-year-old are about some historical figures that have really pushed boundaries, especially women of color who have been trailblazers, and exposing them to their stories. Now that they're readers, and just giving them a vision of what they can make themselves. And you realize how big it is what they watch, what they read, what they hear in terms of shaping that, because we can only tell them so much. The world educates them as well. So if we can be in control of what content they're consuming, and keeping them on the right direction, then as parents, like, that's a huge opportunity.
Yeah, that's a great point. And Mike joked off the top that he would tell his kids that you and he was teammates with you. The kids would say, "Okay, I need to see pictures. I need to see video." Now, with your kids, you actually did play golf with Barack Obama. Have they asked you about that? I mean, beyond the surface, hey, it's the president. Like, did they ask you anything like, Dad, what was that like? What did he say? What were some of those interactions like?
Our oldest got to come out the first time I played with him, and she took a picture with him. She had no idea who he was, but now I get to show her that picture before and let her know how special of a moment that was to play with President Obama, number 44. And he gave me a golf ball that has his 44 on it as a souvenir. So she's asked those questions, and really, it's like a message that anything is possible, because I had no business playing golf with President Obama, and the doors that basketball has opened in that respect, it's pretty crazy. So, that was I was a cool superhero. So that's.
Well, listen, man, we talking about fatherhood. You also showing us husbands how it's done. I've been married 16 years. Mike's at 14. You and Aisha celebrated y'all 10th anniversary by renewing y'all vows. Riley officiated. Ryan and Cannon were there. The photos are absolutely beautiful. Aisha said you picked out the dress and had it laid out. Like, okay, we taking notes over here, man. But can you tell us about that beautiful ceremony? And honestly, was it something that you always thought about, you always knew you would do, or was it more spontaneous? And what has that meant for y'all marriage to renew your vows that way?
Ooh, how much time you got? So
much as you got.
It was something that we had planned from the time we were married. That 10 years was a big milestone that we would celebrate it somehow. Renewing the vows was always kind of the goal or the mission. How we did it, we had no idea. The pandemic obviously was tough. You want to include family and all that, but we kept it really, really private, quiet to ourselves. It was just us and the kids. To your point about like showing how it's done, I don't take any credit for that, because I've had amazing role models and figures in my life who have made it a point to continue to encourage me every time I talk to them. Make sure you spoil your wife, you continue to date her, and celebrate every milestone that you go through life's journey together. My college coach at Davidson, Bob McKillop, every time I talk to him, we rarely talk about basketball. He's the first one to say, hey, how are you treating your wife? And so for me, that was a great reminder. It was an amazing ceremony. And honestly, to show our kids, how powerful, love is in terms of our marriage and whatnot, and including them, it will be something that they'll remember. My favorite part about that picture is Riley's face, in terms of how she's looking. So to include her in that situation and to celebrate a major milestone, you encourage everybody to do it in their own way and celebrate, because life is hard, and you want to enjoy the great moments. Well,
listen, you also renewed your vows, so to speak, with the Golden State Warriors. 4-year,
like that. I like
$215 million
that.
deal. Not that I'm counting. You re-up with them. First player ever with two $200 million contracts. But I wonder, though, 2 years not making the playoffs, obviously the play-in game last year. A lot of talk about the very good offseason. It might be understating it. Exceptional offseason that the Warriors had. But it feels like, as an organization, you guys are kind of walking in both worlds with developing young players, but also having you and Draymond and Klay on his way back, who we'll get to in a moment, still competing for a championship. How do you feel about the position that your organization is in, as you are still in your prime at 33, but you're still trying to compete for championships, but develop simultaneously?
It's interesting because it's hard to find like a comparable kind of situation to what we've been through over the last 7 years, where we're like that up-and-coming team that's just scratching the surface. Then you break through, win a championship. Obviously losing in 2016. KD coming. Getting our 2 championships in 17 and 18. Coming close in 19, so 5 straight finals. Then all of a sudden, the injury bug comes in, and you're in like a pseudo rebuilding, but you still have the same core together. So for us, we've been fortunate because I think we've been able to retool on the fly while maintaining our core. And we're excited about Klay coming back, obviously. It's been a rough 2 years for him, but he's worked his butt off to get back. And excited about him returning to the floor. Obviously, Draymond and myself have shown what we're capable of last year. And we have 3 lottery picks from the last 2 years that are under the age of 20, 21, and have a lot of upside and promise. So, we're trying to maintain what we've done in our culture and our standard for winning while grooming and developing these young guys. And we have the opportunity to do both. And I'm confident we can figure it out and get back to our winning ways this year. It's going to be hard work and nothing's guaranteed, but that's the goal. And if we can merge those 2 timelines together as best we can, then this could be an unprecedented type of comeback for a team that had been at the top for a long time.
And that's the word. I'll tell you, because every time I see Stephen, every time I see a Klay Thompson video, there was a video of him just shooting. I was just mesmerized by it. I said, why do I continue to watch this? I'm watching this. Nothing's changing. But it's just the excitement of seeing you all come back. Are you in contact with him, or do you watch those videos too and get excited about the possibilities?
Yeah, I've been watching his journey over the last 2 years. Like last November, when we heard he tore his Achilles, it was a gut punch because you know how hard he worked to get back from ACL. It was going to be another year to get back, and like I said, he's been grinding. He's in good spirits. He's ready to get back on the floor. But we all seen the was a 37-point quarter, 60 and 3 quarters. Just the unreal performances he's had. Game 6 play in OKC. So, there's so many memories of what he was capable of doing and what he's accomplished. We just wanted to be healthy. We wanted to be out there, no matter how long it takes for him to get back to his to 100%. Him on the floor at whatever percentage is good enough for us right now.
You mentioned those lottery picks in the position that you're in. You got veteran players, you got young guys, and you just hope everybody can align at the same time. We hear about many NBA players who are vocal and who are trying to make things happen either with their organizations or somewhere else. How about you? We don't hear that from you, but are you one of those people who calls Bob Myers, calls Steve Kerr and says, look, hey, why don't we do this? Is that your style?
Yeah, I participate heavy. I'm not in the war room or in every meeting or anything like that, but I feel like, they trust my voice, and that feeling is mutual. Me and Bob talked a lot, pre-free agency and pre-draft, trying to, just give my input on what the best decisions are. There's no perfect science to it, and you are trying to balance the win now mentality with what team we're going to be, this year, next year, 3 years from now. But I'm confident that we have the right talent. We have the right combination of guys. The NBA is wild. Things change so quick. So who knows what happens over the next, 5-7 months. But right now, going into training camp, there's a lot of excitement and optimism about, what the opportunity is, because it's not like we know what our rotation is. We have guys that have to earn it, and that's a good kind of place to be, knowing everybody's working towards the same mission.
So in other words, what you're telling us is you're not talking about Myers about Ben Simmons' availability, what it would take. You're not involved in the
Trying to
Ben
get some money
Simmons
taken out of
drama.
my pocket now.
They can't find you. They can't. You can't tamper. Players can tamper all y'all want. That's the good part. You can't tamper.
Let's say if you're not having those conversations, then you're not trying. Let's put it that way.
Okay, appreciate that. Hey, last thing before we let you go, we know we got to get you out of here so you can get to your commentating duties. I feel like we'd be remiss. We've covered a lot of things in this conversation, which we appreciate. I feel like we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about what you and Aisha and the Curry Family Foundation announced a month ago, I believe it was now, the Curry Family Women's Athletes Initiative at Davidson, your alma mater. I would love to know what the response has been and what that initiative means to your family.
Yeah, it's an amazing opportunity. I've given back to Davidson, the basketball program before, but you think about just sports in general, how much it teaches us and creating opportunity, again, for certain demographics that don't have that direct pipeline to get to the next level and have access to these scholarships to play sports other than basketball, which are the main, revenue drivers for most of these programs. So, our initiative is centered around all women's sports at Davidson, excluding basketball, which the feedback has been, you realize how many athletes there are that played in college and are grateful for that opportunity because it helped them enter any industry with a certain discipline and work ethic and perspective in life, and that confidence to work in like a team atmosphere. But they love the competition in college and were playing their respective sports until they couldn't anymore. So to hear that feedback from people like ex-lacrosse players, ex-field hockey players, ex-soccer players, you don't realize how many athletes actually went through these programs and are now doing amazing things in life because of it outside of sports. And if we can open up that opportunity for other young, talented women to go to Davidson, get an amazing education, play, competitive Division I sports, and really invest in themselves, that's what it's all about. So hopefully we'll have a lot to show for it in the coming years.
You always been one to put your money where your mouth is, brother. We are fans of you on and off the court. We appreciate everything you stand for. Enjoy watching you. Can't wait to see what you got for encore from a scoring title last year. And looking forward to seeing you on the mic for the Ryder Cup. Welcome to the team, and we're going to let you go so that you will come back and kick it with us again. Now that we're teammates, we can call you, and you're going to come hang out with us. So we can keep you all day, but we won't.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys.
All right, brother.